It's time.
Oh.
We're here.
Oh.
Three amigos.
Oh.
Back in it.
I can't go higher than that.
Yeah, you'll start blowing out. It's early morning. Yeah, it's early morning for us. We can't be blowing out the falsetto too early.
That's right. Anyway, I'm Mike.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Steph.
As Nick said, we are the three amigos, and we are back. We're back to pit our tastes in board games against the tastes of all people.
The general public. Yeah.
The general public. I know. I didn't want to
The
make it sound like...
BGG.
Yeah,
the BGG. Ooh, I like that.
Crowd.
It's a whole
The BGG.
entity.
Yeah, the whole peoples of BGG.
BGG is a live thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a living document in a big bad way.
Yeah, really. I mean,
which
honestly.
is super cool.
Yeah.
And as a result, people can go in and give their opinions about games. They can rank games. I don't know if you know that. You can rank your games, and you should.
You know what the best thing about living documents and stuff is they're living and they're being updated in real time.
Because the future. Did you know the BGG predates Wikipedia?
Yeah.
That's cool,
Did you get
right?
the tie-in?
No,
Because
not
we're doing real-time games.
Oh, snap, you're right. We're doing real-time games.
Mike's picking up on this morning.
It's early. Like I said, I got to get a little more coffee and then we're fine. We're doing real-time games.
Yeah, we are.
Here. That's a good point. So we're doing all games that will include time as an element. The things where timers are counting down, where you're trying to do things quickly, you're trying to beat your best time on a score. There's all sorts of ways that time can be used in a game.
Yeah, and fun fact about the three amigos is the first time we ever really met / hung out / played a game was with a real-time game, right, Steph?
Yes, it was awesome. Yeah. I'm like, you guys need to play this game. And then we played.
You said, sit down now, I'm Steph. I'm like, okay, cool.
We're like,
and
all right.
You showed us this. And it was
I'm really
super
bossy.
Cool.
Yeah, and then she like, and we're not fast enough. She just starts hitting us with stuff. You know, it just
go quicker. This is real time. So you might see that game appear later.
Maybe.
We will not spoil anything. But these are all games that incorporate time as an element.
Yep.
All games take up time to play, but not all of them the time matters.
Yep.
So these are all going to be games where time is very much a factor. And we've created a list, the three of us, and we're going to compare it to the list of the overall highest ranked games on BoardGameGeek that incorporate real-time elements.
Yeah. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. Let's start with number
Exciting.
10 with BoardGameGeek.
All right, so BGG, your number 10 is 625 overall, and that is XCOM,
The board game.
based on the video game.
I was going to say, that must mean that it's based on a video game.
Yes, I think it is. I don't know the video game. All I know is that nerds
Based
play
on
video
the
games.
French film.
Yeah, XCOM.
Yeah.
Unlikely.
Yeah, very unlikely.
I've not played XCOM, the video game, or the board game. I don't think Mike has either.
Aliens?
Aliens? Steph, do you know anything about XCOM?
It's been like, I've owned it, and I've sold it, and I've owned it, and I still haven't played it.
I love the idea
So
that
it's
you
great.
owned it, sold it, and said, well, and then we're still here. That's
Also,
how games
it
go.
has it can play, I think, 2 to 4 players, but everybody says it's best with 4 players, and then finding time to learn it with 4 players is always a challenge, and so it's just like never happened, and
Yeah, pretty much at this point, any game that we have that's like 2 to 4, but really ought to play at 4, we just don't have anymore because it's like it's hard to do.
It's hard to do in general, yeah.
It's hard. Like that's why I'm pushing for that Root app, hitting Steam at the end of 2020. I'm like, cool. Then I'll get Root because I can play against computers and make that 4-player game because it's never gonna happen in real life.
No, it's not going to happen in real life, yeah.
But as always, when we don't know much about a game, in this case XCOM, the board game, put in the comments below if you like it, if you think we should try it, if it plays better even if it plays at 3, then the 3 of us can play it sometime.
Someday.
Let us know in the comments below what you think about XCOM.
it's supposed to be pretty good. So
I've heard it's good. Yeah, I've heard it's good.
Yeah.
I'll get to it. It's on the shelf of shame.
Get to it, yeah.
It's a shelf of opportunity.
Shelf of
it'll
opportunity.
It's 625 overall, so it mustn't be horrible.
It's not, I don't think it's bad, yeah.
But anyway, that is number 10 from BoardGameGeek, so let's get into our number 10.
Our number 10 comes in at 3,294, called But Wait, There's More.
But wait, there's more.
There
But
is
wait.
more.
I played this once long ago, guys, so you're going to have to remind me how it goes, because a lot of party games kind of, like, melt together in my mind.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So this is a Euro game about trading silk in the Mediterranean.
Well, you can actually
and then you're selling silk for gold, and then someone's like, "Oh, do you have more?" And they go, "But wait, there's more." And then you try to sell them a portable fireplace.
Yes, indeed. This is basically, there's a lot of party games that are just improv games.
Yeah.
That are put into a box. Like literally, this is an improv game that I used to do, and this basically is a game where you are trying to kind of do the infomercial thing, where you're trying to sell a weird product and it has strange features, and you're trying to do the whole salesmanship thing. So everyone will have a product, and you'll do it in a round, and we're trying to sell steering wheels. Yeah. That's the product, and everyone's going to make a pitch on steering wheels, but you have a little feature that your steering wheel has that mine doesn't. Mine is
drainage.
My steering wheel comes with drainage, and so now I'll go on and explain, like, well, you got to get the steering wheel because when it rains in the car, you have a leaky roof, you can't help that. You don't want to have a leaky steering wheel that leads to soggy hands, and then you're trying to sell why the drainage works, and then halfway through, you have to flip over another feature, but this time you don't know what that feature is going to be. And so this is a mystery. You flip it over, you say, but wait, there's more. It helps you get a nice smooth shave.
Yeah,
or attracts butterflies. And now you have to sort of...
I feel like this is like going to be really great for you guys. I feel like you would be very good at this game.
We like this game, yes. This is a game that, like a lot of people like Snake Oil, which is a similar kind of game where you're trying to sell a product. In that way, you're trying to sell a product to a specific person. So you're trying to sell a steering wheel to a nun, or something. It's very specific like that. This one is just like, you have a product, you have a weird feature of that product, and then halfway through you flip over a new feature that you didn't have to make up on the spot.
On those infomercials, there's always another cool thing.
Yeah, you have to say, but wait, there's more. It also attracts butterflies, and then you have to keep going.
It grates cheese,
Yeah, and exactly, and it's one of those things where
it's just silly.
It's very dumb. It's very silly. But it's very, very fun, especially like late night, or if you have a bunch of friends just being silly together. It's really, really fun.
Yeah.
And it's just dumb fun. It's what it is. But it gets really ridiculous.
Yeah, and the timer element, you start to panic. You only have like 30 seconds, and once you flip your thing, you only have like 10 seconds left. So it's just a fun. We've never even played for points. We don't care.
No, who cares?
Just for a good laugh. And that's but wait, there's more. And but wait, there's more list. So let's get into Board Game Geeks number 9.
Okay, BGG, your number 9 is 526 overall, and that is Escape. Cross for the temple.
Cross for the temple, man.
No, I gotta escape this temple, dude. It's crazy in here.
Yeah, man. See, I had to make it a character like
this
that.
This temple's right by Santa Monica Beach. That's the issue, so...
You guys are speaking way too slowly for this game because this game is like high speed, like rolling dice, like chuck dice, chuck dice, chuck dice.
Yeah, it really is. It's sort of Indiana Jones-y, where you're trying to go into a temple and get back out, and you have to flip dice to reveal parts of the temple to move, and then trying to get out. And as Steph said, everyone's just screaming at each other to move quicker. You're trying to get the right dice rolls and things.
Yeah. And Steph, have you played this game?
Yeah.
I have. I played it at Gen Con, so it was like bit craziness with like 10 strangers, and we're all like, ah!
That's nuts.
That's kind of a cool way to play, though, It's like you want it to be stressful.
This is the first real-time game I played, and I played with a girlfriend who hated board games. And that did not go well.
It was probably not an ideal pick.
Yeah, didn't go well.
Well, it's like because you are really focused on what you're doing. So if they're confused, it's hard to explain to them what's happening because you are focused. They're focused. Everybody's just doing their own thing, just trying to get in and get out in 10 minutes. Like.
Yeah. And just in general, if like you have someone, a loved one, who doesn't like playing board games, that's honestly totally fine. But if occasionally they're like, all right, we'll play a board game, don't make that board game timed.
Keep it on the zen side.
Keep it zen. Play herbaceous.
Yeah.
Play something nice and chill. Don't play Escape.
Herbaceous can get confrontational. You take all the sage and stuff. They get pretty mad. Play
that keeps
King
it spicy.
Yeah, that's true.
But you want to try to keep the stress down if you're playing with non-gamers.
Yeah, and this is not that game. Very fun game.
Yeah, it's super fun because you're running through a temple. It feels like that because you really are rolling manically to try to get you. It feels like.
And for the first time ever, guys, I actually like the zombie edition better. Imagine that.
We haven't played the zombie edition, but I would want to play that one more.
Yeah, you're like looking over your back, zombies are coming and stuff. I could see that being really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just trying to like go out. It's good. It's good. Escapes. It's a good game. Everybody should play.
It's fun. Play it. The original one came with a CD.
Comes with a CD.
That's right. It's dated now, but it's fine. But yeah,
there's probably an app for that.
Yeah, probably. At this point, I hope so. Yeah.
So, man, make an app, please, for that. That's number 9, everybody, from BoardGameGeek. Escape the Curse of the Temple. So let's get to our number 9.
Our number 9 is 661 overall, called Ricochet Robots. Now, have you guys played this one? I'm curious.
I thought I had, and then I realized I was thinking of Robo Rally.
Oh. So Ricochet Robots is like a real-time thinking game. It's like, so there's a puzzle you have to solve on the map, and you're trying to solve it before everybody else can. So it's really dependent on how fast other people can solve the problem. So you want to get one robot to one specific location. How many moves will it take you to get there? So basically the robot will move in straight lines and bounce off walls, and then until it like finally gets to its destination, you're like, okay, 1, 2, 3. But you can position other robots in the way to bounce off the other robots. And so you're trying to make it all work in as few moves as possible. And that includes moving other robots too. So maybe you can find it faster if you move the red robot to the wall, so you can then bounce off there and then go down. And oh my goodness.
That's wild.
That sounds pretty fun, but I could see that being, stressful to like...
Yeah, and there's a good catch-up mechanism where that if somebody keeps finding these patterns faster, that the other players, if they tie in the same number, if I say 7, but I'm already winning, and the other player finds it at 7, they get to go first.
So. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, you're never like really stuck and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once you find the pattern, it's like a 30-second timer goes, and then everybody else can beat that in that time or tie you if you're winning. So it's good. It's really good. Yeah. It's a good filler. Fun. Just to pull out while you're waiting for other groups to break up, when we had game days.
Yeah, right.
Well, it'll be a good one for the future. I do like puzzles like that. I don't know if I'm particularly good at them, but I like trying to figure out and plan kind of a program.
I like games, they're usually robot-based, which makes sense. But I like the idea of them running to a wall and then turning. That's one of the reasons why I like Quirky Circuits so much.
Yeah.
Because it's like the first robot in Quirky Circuits is that, like it's a Roomba, so whenever it hits a wall, it turns to the left. And so that becomes so much of your program. Be like, okay, they're going to go here, they're going to boom, and then they're going to turn left, and that means we don't then have to do it. I like that kind of game. Yeah, so I've been wanting to play this. I was just thinking of Robo Rally when we were talking about it earlier.
Copy that. Well, Ricochet.
I was like, that game is real time? It's like, no, it's not.
Right.
It is next time you play, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, you better believe it.
Timed edition. You're like, what? We're like, go, program. Ricochet Robots sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. We should definitely try that. And that's our number 9, right?
Yes.
Sweet. Let's get into BoardGameGeek's number 8.
We got a double crossover here.
Yeah, sorta.
Double cross. We're calling it a double crossover. The original game was 473 overall, and that is Magic Maze. Our choice is Magic Maze on Mars.
Yeah.
But so Magic Maze is the one on this list. But ultimately, they are mostly the same game. But this is a real-time game that is fantasy-themed for some reason.
Well, it's in a fantastical mall.
Yeah, there's like, you're a dwarf, no one knows why.
You're burgling, I guess, to be fair.
It's a real-time game where everyone basically has a direction that you can go.
Yes.
So, like, there are a couple different people who basically have to get these different characters, which, again, are fantasy characters for some reason, but really they're colored pawns.
Yeah.
You need to get them to certain areas. You need to explore out the mall or Mars or whatever. But the problem is like, no one controls a character, but Steph can move any characters to the right. Mike can move any characters to the left. Joan can move any characters back. I can move any characters forward. So you're having to move everything around in real time without talking. Yeah. You can't talk at all. And so everyone just kind of has to like telepathically like figure out where things need to go, because everyone's just staring at me and I'm like, and there's a little red pawn that you can like tap in front of someone saying like, you need to go. We all need you to go. And
that's like, the passive aggressive pawn.
Oh, yeah, the passive. It's really it's the passive aggressive pawn, and it's great.
A lot of communication happens with that pawn,
and it gets really stressful. But you do have a timer to get everything, and you can go to these other spots which then can refill that timer. And those are also spots where you can talk for as long as you want, but as you're talking, the timer is going down.
Well, I think you said on the side maybe, but then once you start again or however,
I think it goes out.
So you want to like let it run down, but not all
so
the way
you can be like,
out.
just, okay, we need to go over here. Mike, we need you to get your stuff together, and so it gets really stressful, but it's very fun. And then there's like an On Mars version now.
Yeah, so that one, it's slightly different where you're still kind of building out, but you're kind of building out like a space station or a Mars thing, and you're moving resources around.
Yeah.
So there's like colored resources on colored tracks and stuff, and people can control and move certain types of resources and things. So it's a very similar idea where you still need certain people to pay attention to certain things. But I kind of enjoy, I guess what it is that we had played Magic Maze and wanted something a little new, and Magic Maze on Mars is kind of the newer version, but they're both super fun.
Yeah.
Because it's just this idea of like, you think you're seeing everything, and then there's this very obvious thing down here because there's one more person, or now you need to get, it's just
Steph, have you played the Mars version?
I haven't. It sounds fun though.
Yeah, it's
cool.
Is fun. It's you'll see the familiarity there, and then just the slight differences. There's a lot of overlap, but it was pretty cool. I dug.
Yeah, I usually am teaching Magic Maze, so when I haven't even played with any of like the power abilities of the people, and I just haven't even worked my way through like the campaign almost. Like
that's what's crazy. It's a campaign too. We always end up playing the first and second one because we're usually teaching people. So I'm like, we'll just play the first one.
It gets way wild with all the stuff. So,
but it's a really cool, really kind of unique idea that's very, very fun. But Magic Maze on Mars, whichever one you choose, they're both great, and that's why it's our combined number 8.
Bam.
Number
Let's
8.
Board Game Geeks number 7. Looks like I have one hand.
All right, so Board Game Geeks number 7 is number 331 overall. And this is a game that the entire thing isn't timed. There's like one phase of it that's timed, and that is Millennium Blades.
Yes. I mean, really, most of it's timed. It's just like
no, because it's only the trading phase that's timed.
Yeah, but it's like, that's most of the game.
Not really, I don't know.
Yeah.
Millennium Blades. We play Millennium Blades specifically once a year.
Once a year.
At Dice Tower East.
Yeah. So we played it 2 times.
Yep.
We have our annual play of Millennium Blades, and it basically sort of recreates the world of playing a CCG, a Magic. Like you are playing like games against players. You're like actually like throwing down and playing your cards and doing a battle, but then it kind of pulls back and you have these timed phases that are like 15, 20 minutes or something where you are trying to basically get good cards for the next tournament. You're at a store, essentially, a game store, and you can buy booster packs and see what you get. You can trade with people. You can buy from the store. You can buy these cards. You can sell stuff. You can do all these things to manage your money to hopefully get a deck of cards that you can then beat your opponent in the next tournament. And so it kind of simulates a day of playing Magic in a way, which is, it's just an interesting game. There's nothing like it that we've certainly played, and it was really cool.
Yeah,
as people
really
that don't
cool.
really do CCGs, like it was a cool way into it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Steph, you played Millennium Blades?
So like if I don't particularly like CCGs, will I like this game?
I think so because we don't.
I don't like. I have no
them.
interest in any CCG ever.
I don't want them. So,
and I actually really like this game a lot because it's like the CCG part of it is just like it's that's the timed phase. But mostly you're like buying cards. There's cards you can trade and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it like, it's kind of CCG and themed, but like it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't feel necessarily like a CCG. It's just a game kind of with that theme that's very cool and unique. So I think you would probably like it even if you don't like CCGs because we don't play any CCGs. We have no interest in any of them.
The thing I enjoyed about it was that the way it played out, and we have this person who owns the game. They take us through and they kind of act like the store manager, like they'll handle money. So it kind of makes it really fun that way. And you play kind of like an initial match against somebody, and it's sort of like an intro. So it sort of teaches you like this is how the actual playing of the tournament's going to go. And then you go into your first buying phase, and then you play a second match, and then you kind of realize like, oh, the cards I have are like not quite ideal, but you will get a better idea of the type of stuff you need.
Yeah.
And then you go into another buying phase. So like, as someone who doesn't understand CCGs very well and like what makes a good deck of cards or whatever, the game kind of takes you through the process. So it was almost like a way to teach people how to do this kind of thing. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. So I felt like I didn't need to know Magic well to appreciate the game. So there's that.
Yeah.
You know, whether or not that means you'd love it, I don't know, but I think there's a chance. So it's an interesting game. I'd be happy to play it again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into Keyforge, though. That's not going to happen.
So. Magic. Yeah, we play good games.
Anyway, that's number 7, is it?
I believe so, yeah.
From Board Game Geek. Let's get now number 7.
Our number 7 is 1147 overall, called Happy Salmon.
Yeah.
Happy Salmon.
This game does nothing but bring me pure joy.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, if you have a couple minutes, it's really like a 1 minute game. I've recorded several sessions of this game because it's literally 1 minute. And you're all just going around trying to get rid of all your cards first. And you have these crazy gestures like a fist bump or Happy Salmon, and you go like this with the other player, or switch places, and you're running around this little small table if you have one, and or a chair. I've done chairs, I've done tables. It's just, and you just play over and over and over in the same session, and you just you get a workout almost.
Yeah, you really do. It's an athletic game. I mean, Happy Salmon is wonderful because can you picture someone playing it straight-faced?
Yeah.
No, it's awful. No, you can't. It's just so funny.
You can't. It's designed to be joyous. Yeah. It is a joyful experience. It's crazy. It's silly. That game is great because it gets people out of their shell.
Yeah.
You will end up being and looking silly playing Happy Salmon, and you won't care. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing in this world, you know? Yeah. And we're all so concerned about how we're doing, how we look, and you're just being goofy.
You can't help but be dumb in this game. Yeah.
I get joy out of conventions. You'll see people playing. I get joy just seeing people playing it from across the way. I'm like, that is awesome. That's made me happy, and I'm not even playing the game.
Yeah.
I know. It's just so infectious, I guess. It's just, there's something about Happy Salmon that's just joy.
Yeah. It's really brilliant. It's silly. Give it a go sometime.
Please.
It only take a minute.
Yeah. It does only take a minute.
It's only going to take a second. That's the one that gives me hope in the world, man, because it's just silly, good fun. It allows everyone to kind of be a kid again, but now you get to do it for victory, which is great. It's great. It's what us board gamers need, a little bit of silliness in our life. So that's
I like the loud version. I like the loud. You can also play silent mode and just give hand gestures, which is different. But it's not as much fun because I like being really loud.
Yeah, but it can be interesting to try to contain yourself. So that is interesting.
I know.
That's an interesting mode. We have a custom version that someone made. It's called Happy Murphin, and it's got a bunch of Murphisms and things. Yeah. And you have to go under tables and stuff, which means someone might get a concussion.
Yeah,
so
probably.
Doesn't get us all that often.
Hashtag worth it.
But yeah, we have our own custom version, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
pretty sweet. That is number.
That's number 7.
Yeah, sweet. That is us. Let's get into Board Game Geeks number 6.
All right, Board Game Geeks number 6 is 281 overall, and that is Klask.
I wouldn't have
Klask
thought
a real-time game?
It's as real-time as it can get, because if someone hits the ball and you don't move, you are going to lose.
Yes, I guess
it's nothing but real-time.
I guess it's true.
It's the realest time.
It's one of the greatest games ever made. I don't care. I don't mind saying it.
It's so freaking fun.
Klask
You're talking about Happy Salmon will make you laugh and stuff. Klask will give big, epic moments.
Yeah.
On a tiny little wooden board.
Yeah. And Steph, are you a Klask fan?
Oh my goodness, yes. My family loves it. Everybody loves it who I've played with. I mean, it's just the downfall is it only plays 2. But now there's a new 4-player version, which I'm dying to try.
I know. I really
want to try the 4-player
version. I'm so excited,
nuts, dude.
Yeah, you get one of those small little bar tables or something, so you can just all be equally distant. Klask is it's basically kind of like an air hockey type game where you're just knocking this little ball around. So the ball will move around quickly, and then it adds. You're trying to get into your opponent's goal, and it adds a couple of funky elements. One, you have this little pawn that's on the field, but it's connected by a magnet to the handle, which is beneath the board. So your hand, is beneath the field. So you're trying to manipulate this thing, which is a great way to make it work. And then there's these 3 little marshmallows, we call them, that are magnetized, and if you get 2 of them onto your pawn, you lose.
Yeah.
Or if you fall into your own goal, you lose a point. So there's these like 3 ways for points to happen.
Yeah, which is nice.
So there's enough stuff to like kind of keep track of that's not just like whack the ball as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Like maybe you would in air hockey, you just try to slam the thing. But it's just every game I scream.
Yeah.
I triumph.
Yeah.
I cry.
Yeah.
It's just it's dramatic moments.
It's great.
Oh, it's such a good game. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it when we were compiling our
Didn't
list.
cross my mind. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, this one effectively is on our list as well because it's so good.
It is really good.
It's
so
class.
fun.
It's great. It's number 6. It's awesome. It's
Number
amazing.
6.
Let's go ahead and get into our number 6. Oh, I just want to play Klask now.
I know. It's right.
Our number 6 is 1827 overall, called Sorcerer City. To be honest, guys, I didn't even know this was real time, so tell me about it.
It is.
Yes.
It's like Speed Carcassonne.
Yeah.
So it is a game where you are building out a little city over 5 rounds.
Sorcerer City.
A sorcerer city. You're doing like you're rebuilding the city using magic. Really, is a theme. Because theme. And you have 2 minutes to do this. And the way it works is you get a stack of tiles, and you're going to flip them over one at a time and then place them into your city. And you can place the tiles in any arrangement you want, but you do kind of want to match colors. There's green, purple, red, and gold. And then there are these shields on certain tiles that will allow for scoring. So one is I want to have a huge connected area of gold. That means it can be like kind of in a string and stuff, but so long as there's a continuous golden path, that will be worth money every round. Or red will give you influence and stuff. So you're trying to build out your city in a sensible way, but you're under a timer. And then each round you'll have the opportunity to spend the money you gained to buy more tiles.
Yeah.
And then there's also monster tiles which get added in. So every round your stack increases and it becomes harder and harder to get all the way through. The time stays the same. It becomes harder and harder to flip and build your city in a smart way, and these monsters start messing with all of your stuff.
Yeah, and each tile will have between 1 to 4 of the colors on them.
It's a whole
So
mix,
it's like it's not like they're all one color tiles. Most of them are. Most of them have at least 2 or 3 on
And they're
them.
funky. They might be on a diagonal. They
Yeah,
might
so
be,
also
you know,
it's just
straight
you
through.
flip over a tile and you're trying to figure out where to put it, place it, and you flip over another tile, and then you have a shield, and then again there's monsters that start coming out, and the monsters could be like every shield that's directly
Touching
adjacent
enemies.
in the same neighborhood. As this tile, those shields now don't count, and you have to place the monsters when you get them. So then there's like all these different monsters you can get that you then have to like deal with in different ways, and sometimes they'll like just straight up destroy tiles. And the first round or two, you're like, whatever, like 2 minutes, you're done.
Easy.
You're done with a minute to spare. You're crushing it. But then by the time you get to the end, you have like 20 more tiles, and getting them all out gets very difficult. And it's really, really fun.
Yeah. It's just, it's the idea of Carcassonne, but with stressful time elements.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, it's cool. I suggest you try it sometime. It's really
Oh, it
fun.
sounds like something I definitely want to play.
Yeah, I
so.
think you would
Yeah.
dig. I think
Yeah,
for what I
it's,
know
you
about
know, it's puzzly and stuff, but you have the time, and the idea is like once you place, you can take your stuff and rotate, but once you place that in your city, then it's stuck there. So you got to move on to the next thing, and you know, and what types of areas do you want to go for? Prestigious points, that's the green. Do you want to try to get a lot of points, or do you want to get money to get more tiles, or these influence will give you these big benefits?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to kind of consider, but you're under the gun. So it's a cool game, and that's why it's on our list. Yeah. So let's go ahead and jump into Board Game Geeks number 5.
Board Game Geeks number 5 is number 244 overall, and that is Telestrations. I love this list. There's like some bigger games, some very small games. This is awesome.
Well, Telestrations is one of those ones I think of like, oh, it's this mass market thing, which I do love, and we have. But Telestrations is just genuinely loved by pretty much all.
because it's great.
It's super fun.
Yeah, do you like Telestrations, Steph?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't actually do the time limit thing though, so
Neither do
you know,
we.
we just let people go and do their artistic skills, however long it takes them.
Yeah. We'll sort of like, is everyone good? All right, cool, and we'll pass it on. But it's basically a game of telephone. The old thing where you like whisper a sentence, and as it goes further down the line, the sentence gets morphed and mauled and mangled. And now you do this with art. So you will get an initial prompt, and then we'll pass it, and then people will draw that prompt, whatever that means to them. You know, it's a picnic. However they draw a picnic, and then you pass it again. And so now this person gets just the picture. They don't know what the prompt is. They get this picture, and based off of the picture, they say, that's a camping trip. Okay, they write camping trip, and we pass it again. Now the person has camping trip as their prompt, so they're going to try to draw that. And you basically get around... And then you come back to it and you see, like,
you live the story of your art,
How did the story change from the art? And it can get off the rails real easy. And then sometimes it's impressive how on the rails it stays, where people are like, I got this, I know how to do this. And it doesn't get messed up. Both are equally impressive.
It's very fun. And it's just like, it just gets so silly. And it's one of those games where, like, the more people you have, the better. Because the more iterations you can get before it comes back around to you, the better. And it's just silly. Yes. And honestly, it's also one of those games where the worse you are at drawing, the better it is. Because then your stuff will be even weirder. And you're like, Frankenstein pooping? Okay, I guess I gotta draw it. I don't know.
I like being like crazy with my description at the beginning. Like the unicorn flew over the rainbow and found Mordor or something like ridiculous.
Exactly.
I guess I can draw that.
It's like all right. The next person's like, what is this?
Yes. It's fun. I definitely play chaotically. Where like I'm gonna draw this thing in a weird way, but I'm gonna add this strange element that's gonna make them fixate on it. Just because. Yeah. Again, it's like, who cares?
Well, again, it's silly fun. It's like, like a unicorn flying over a rainbow to get to Mordor clearly isn't one of the prompts. What the prompts would be like, a banana split. You know, it's like, but it's like, that's what the fun is. And it's like, again, one of the things where if you're going to take this game super seriously, go play something else. Go play Trajan. You know, it's fun. Like, it's basically the same game. So it's almost just like... Identical. Yeah, Telestrations is great. It's wonderful. I'm glad it's on this list.
Absolutely. I mean, it's 244 overall. It's well liked.
It's
just a fun party game where, like, that's one of the ones I really appreciate. Like, it doesn't matter if you're great at art. It's like, it's a goofy game. Just have fun. And everything's up to interpretation anyway. So that's Telestrations. That's BoardGameGeek's number 5. Let's get out of number 5.
Our number 5 is 683 overall, called Pictomania. More withdrawing. This, in my opinion, is the superior drawing game. I love Telestrations, but I love Pictomania.
We totally agree.
Totally agree. So why do you love Pictomania so much?
Okay, so it's real time where everybody sees all the words that are out there. So there's going to be like 7 cards, and each with 7 things on it. Usually, every card has a theme. And so everybody's going to get 1 card and 1 number. And so you look at the card and the number associated, and you're going to have to, everybody at the same time will start drawing their thing. But also at the same time, once you're done drawing, you're going to start guessing what other people have by looking at the cards and kind of like, you know, deduction. Like, oh, I did number 4, so they don't have number 4, so I need to like go over and not choose number 4. Because every themed card has very similar... like chameleon and like snail and alligator and like all these different things on one card that could look the same depending on who's drawing.
Yes. It's the beauty of that is that the way it ramps up.
Yeah.
I know. And then it gets like, there's different levels of cards, the themes. So there's easy cards like dog, cat, you know, pets or something. And then it goes to like philosopher and theologist and like I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, there was one in like one of the later rounds. I love that because the first time we played it, the first round we're like, this is easy. And then like the next round we're like, oh, these cards are hard. And then the last round was like pub, tavern, saloon, bar. And I'm like,
pub, tavern, saloon, bar. We're like, how do you differentiate those?
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And it's about like, you want to draw quick so you can start guessing, but you have to be able to make yours guessable.
Yes, because you get points if people guess yours correctly. So you can't just like draw a line and go whatever and then start looking at someone else's. You have to draw fast so you can start guessing first, but you have to draw well enough where people can still understand what you were drawing.
So you're trying to do the bare minimum.
And it's this weird... It just works so well. Oh my gosh, it's great.
It's a great drawing game. It's just so fun. I'm happy to have it on our list. And yeah, I agree. Like, Telestrations is great. Pictomania is the best.
Up here.
It is so
it's up here. Yeah.
So good.
It's so great. And just to point out, there is a second edition that came out recently, which only has, I think, 3 cards on display. So people will be sharing cards, so it won't be as easy to deduce what people have. So it helps you focus your on 3 cards. And I know a lot of complaints in the games previously were that there's so many cards and you can't read everything quickly enough. And so, like, that really helps with that element of it. And I think it's, they're both great. So, I mean, just play the game.
We played original. Card. Yeah, we've always played. No, we played the original.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we played the 3-card version.
Yeah, we randomly, this is a great surprise for us because we, were waiting for a game at Dice Tower West. And we literally, we have, a half hour. What should we play? And someone was like, I don't even want to play this drawing game. Literally, never heard of it, never played it. And we were like, all right, expecting it to be terrible because a lot of drawing games aren't the best. Yeah. And we had so much fun. We almost skipped the game we were waiting for because we're like, we just want to keep playing this. It was so good.
It was just what a happy accident that was.
Yeah, Pictomania is outstanding.
So
check it out.
Definitely check it out. In the meantime, we'll get into Board Game Geeks number 4.
All right, Board Game Geeks number 4 is kind of ranked 204 overall, and that's because we lumped a bunch of these games together. These are the exit games. There was actually 3 of these on this top 10 list, so we lumped them all into number 4, which was the highest ranked one. This one specifically is the Abandoned Cabin,
specifically.
Which you just played.
I just played this specific, and this is my to-date only exit game was this one, and it's really good. It should be highly ranked. It's very fun.
Yeah. Have you played any of these exit unlock kind of games, Steph?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I played a lot of the exit games. I haven't played actually any of the 3 of the top ones, so maybe I should get on that. But I've enjoyed the experience so far. I do prefer the unlock type games, though.
Right on. I've played 1 unlock game and now 1 exit game.
I played 1 unlock game.
Yeah, we played that unlock game at a con once, and that was super fun. I would need and want to play an unlock game again now more... closer, because I just played the exit game. It had been years in between unlocks, so I can't really compare the two. Yeah. But the exit game was super fun. We were just tearing stuff up, and that was cool. Yeah. But I remember liking unlock as well. Yeah. Unlock I felt more time specific because you had a countdown timer. With exit, sort of your time will sort of inform your score, but they're not on a hard time.
Yeah.
So. Their games are super fun. I mean, it's just a clever thing. Yeah. Just the idea of sort of creating an escape room type situation. And this one, without spoiling much, you basically, your car runs out of gas. You go into this cabin to seek shelter, and you wake up and you're locked in. And this you get this note saying trying to find a way out. You have to try to escape by answering these riddles. And there's just some cool, clever moments in these types of games. There was a couple moments in this one. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but I was just like, oh my gosh, that is brilliant. That is so clever. The way that they use the package that they have, it's very cool. These types of experiences are fun. I definitely want to do more of these types of games. Yeah. And I think you've seen, like I said, there's a bunch of exit games within just the highest rankings of real-time games. These types of games have been a huge hit.
They really have. They really have, yeah.
Yeah. I want to play more.
The exit games. Unlock, all these escape room games, they've all been very well received. So yeah, check them out. Steph likes them. Yeah. I'm probably the least big fan of them, but they're all good.
You'd still play them.
Yeah, I'd still play them for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why it's Board Game Geeks number 4. Let's get into our number 4.
Our number 4 is 1946 overall, called Factory Funner. Oh my god, I love spatial puzzles in timed mode. It's so much fun for me.
Is it more fun than Factory Fun?
Oh my god, yes.
Is it funner than that?
It is way funner, in my opinion.
Is it less fun than Factory
Fun? A lot of people I play games with wouldn't say that, but I like it. So basically what happens is everybody will reveal a tile from the top of their stack, and everybody's evaluating all the tiles at the same time. And once you grab one, then you can decide where to put it. But you're kind of what works best, and will it work, and what can you do to get these connections? Because you're trying to make this big factory thing that connects inputs with outputs and all these different things. But once you place it, you can't move it. Factory Fun, you can move it, which makes the game so AP because you can always change things around, and it's just it's a drag.
Yeah, no thank you.
But this one, you're stuck.
I like that. I mean, it's
get punished.
Yeah, it's the idea is you make a quick decision, you live with it, it's good or bad. Yeah, Yeah, that sounds so much better than like, well, let me reconsider all the moves I've made.
God,
Like,
no.
Move on.
God, no.
And yeah, so this one has hexagons, and the factory fun has squares, so you got a little more like dimensional thing going on in your room, and so you have these different pipelines, and so basically when you make the connection, you're going to be spending these points to get to the output. But then you can remove those points if you find a tile later that goes in that spot and then makes the connection for you, kind of thing. And so you're just trying to make it all work, and it's just a big puzzle, and I love it.
I love it. Yeah, I do like spatial puzzles and things like that. That sounds pretty fun. I like it. Just like, and then the idea of quickly trying to figure out what you want so you can grab it before someone else probably takes, and they have to reconsider, and then maybe you get stuck with something at the end because you just haven't been quick enough. And the idea of just like, you just got to make it work as best you can.
Make it work, man.
Whatever that means.
Hey, I love it.
You can always choose not to take a tile if you're the last one, which is good, but usually you want to try and make it work versus not taking a tile.
Right on. Okay, so you're not completely stuck. That's awesome.
Right.
That's Factory Funner, everybody. That's our number 4. Let's go to Board Game Geeks number 3.
All right, Board Game Geek number 3 overall is 203. Number 3 on this list is 203 overall, and this is, we've realized right now, is kind of a Vlaada Chvátil list because this is Space Alert.
He's all over the place. Yeah, Space Alert.
Space Alert, which I don't know much about. I just know that it is real time. That's all I know.
Cooperative real time. That's all I know.
Yeah, cooperative real time on a spaceship. I played this recently.
Oh, you played it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And you're going around and trying to fend off attacks from things, and also just sort of space itself being bad to you.
Where did you play this?
I played this with a game group.
Oh, I did not know that.
Last year, I guess. Yeah, it was. It's this hard sort of kind of like programming game, I guess. You're trying to like get people to move around and stuff like that. And then you have to let things play out, and asteroids might hit you, or ships might come and stuff, and you have to jiggle the mouse to keep the computer away because of a thing you have to do. And I remember it being incredibly... It's from 2008, and it's one of the things I'm like, it seems obtuse now a little bit. Like, it's just newer games have done similar things smoother.
Yeah.
They've smoothed out some of the business. Because I remember just being like lost. I was like, I don't know where any of our people are, and I guess I gotta get these energy cubes up here, and we want to fire this gun, but we need to get stuff from over here. But it just wasn't in a way that I was able to put together, like, how can I help this situation? What can I do?
Yeah.
So I would probably need to play it again, and there's cards and things that happen. I'm not doing a great job of explaining it. I've only played it once, but that's generally what you're trying to do. You're trying to sort of like program, you're going to go out here, then you're going to move the person over there and stuff, and I'm going to go up here, so it's a little bit like Magic Mazy and stuff. It was interesting. It was fine. It wasn't my favorite thing. But yeah, that's Space Alert. It was a thing.
I'll try it one day.
Yeah, I'll try it.
It was like
I like real time.
I didn't have a bad experience with it and stuff, but it was. I think it was one of the ones that was also controlled by a CD, and then now you can get play it digitally or something like that, if I recall correctly.
Czech games are really good about putting out apps and.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so you can still play your game, so it's kind of cool. But yeah, that's Space Alert. That's Board Game Geeks number 3. Check it out. If you haven't, put in the comments below if you love Space Alert and why.
Check it out.
Check it out, man. In the meantime, we'll get into our number 3.
Our number 3 is 4,143 overall, called
Rude.
Rush MD.
I think it's gonna collab.
I mean, I think so. I think so. It's fairly new.
We just played this again recently on. We did a stream for Gen Con during Gen Con, which just happened, Gen Con Online, and we played Rush MD, and it is so much fun. It's kind of the successor.
The Kitchen Rush.
To Kitchen Rush, which would have been our list if Rush MD didn't exist. But Kitchen Rush is a real-time game where a cooperative worker placement real-time game where all your workers are hourglasses, 30-second hourglasses, and you essentially are flipping them over to do actions, and you can't then move that worker until the time runs out. So that's a kitchen game where you're making stuff, kind of like Overcooked. Have you ever played that? Very stressful. Very fun. Then Rush MD came out, which is the same kind of game where you have hourglasses, 30-second hourglasses, except for you're in a hospital. And it is both somehow crazier and easier.
Weirdly.
Right? It's like there's so much more. There's more stuff you can do and have to do.
Yes.
But all that stuff you have to do is easier to do.
What it comes down to for us, I think, is the money. In Kitchen Rush, money is a piece of the game. You need to have money to pay your employees. You need to have money to buy supplies and things. And RushMD just gets rid of that idea. It's like if you need supplies, you have to go to a space still to get those supplies.
Hospitals are free. We all know it.
Yes, right. That's how that works. You have to go these places. But you don't have to worry about like, oh, I don't have any money. Let's go get some money from this one thing. So like, it takes out one little fiddly bit because there's plenty of challenge left over. And there's like one thing like that makes it just a little bit easier. It's like if you need supplies, cool, you can just go here and you don't have to worry about losing your employees, making you short-handed. Because there's plenty to worry about. Yeah, see, it's so fun because you have to get patients in, you have to have them admitted, then you have to do tests. Only your doctors can do tests. Then your nurses can administer the medicine and stuff. And so it's just... It's so fun.
It's very, very fun.
It's little mini games
really good.
for the tests and stuff.
And Steph, I think you would really like this game a lot.
But I really hate doctors.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, they're
you might not like. Yeah, you might not like something. I think you would like the game. The theme might undo it for you. Yeah.
I mean, it really might because I am not a fan of hospitals, doctors, anything like that. But
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know. I would try it because I like to try anything once, but I would probably prefer Kitchen Rush.
That's fair.
They are similar.
That's
fair. They are similar.
Yeah. And Kitchen Rush is super fun.
Yeah.
But RushMD is really cool. We quite enjoy it. So that's our number 3.
Yeah.
Let's get to Board Game Geeks number 2.
Crossover.
Shoulders version.
We got a crossover. It's Vlaada Chvátil. Chat Games Edition.
We just said it was a Vlaada list.
Yeah, it's a Vlaada list. Might as well be at this point. This is Galaxy Trucker. A lot of people probably think this is going to show up.
Yeah.
This game is hard. This game is
awesome.
It's very fun. It's so hard. I've just gotten demolished every time I've played it.
You've had some bad luck with asteroids.
I have had horrible luck with asteroids. There's been multiple times where I've been building my ship and my ship was hinging on this one tile. And an asteroid hit it, and the entire bottom half of my ship just went and just went out. And I was like, cool. Okay.
Cool.
I really love the game, but my God, I'm bad at it. But Steph, you love it more than even us, so you go ahead and talk about it.
I mean, I only just learned it this year because I put it off because I'm like, I'm not sure I'm gonna like this game. People like it, but I don't know. But I do like that everybody's pulling these tiles from a big pool of tiles, and you're trying to build your ship as best you can. If you don't want the tile, you just put it back. If you put it on your ship, it's stuck there. So make sure you put it in the right spot. But you're trying to make padding on your ship, so if asteroids, what happened to Nick there, is just they come at you, then it'll just bounce off, for example. So you don't want to leave those open spaces because if you do, you will likely get damaged in some way. So you're trying to collect the different people, the workers, and different radiation tokens, and you need these energy things to make everything work at times. And so you're looking for all these different things while you're putting your ship together. And of course you're going to forget something. Everything's in real time. So you're trying to do all this. You're trying to learn what the goals are and what cards are going to show up and what to prepare for. And so you're just trying to do all this in the limited amount of time that you have. So good luck.
Yeah, it's rough because space is a very easy environment to survive in. That's what I love. The thematics of it. Just people are just putting a ship together however they can,
just trying to get to this stuff
together, and then just seeing what happens.
Yeah,
it's just brilliant.
It's
fun.
That'll be a kind of game that some people will absolutely hate.
Sure,
but if you don't dislike those kinds of games, you gotta try it. Galaxy Trucker is great.
Yeah. It's just it makes me giggle the idea of it all. It's just so funny.
It's awesome.
That's all of the artwork is very cute, so you can't get mad at it.
That's a Vlaada thing. Look at Dungeon Pets, it's the same way. Big heavy game with the cutest artwork. Oh, it's horrible.
There's those little round faced space folk, and you're like, oh, everything's fine. No one's gonna die.
Sure ain't.
It's all good. You're like, not all good. But you're having a laugh over.
Yeah, you're having a laugh as your destruction. Yeah,
it's good stuff, and that's why it's 176 overall, and everybody's
double
number
crossover.
2. Double crossover complete. Let's get into Board Game Geeks number 1.
BoardGameGeek, your number one is 144 overall, and that is Captain Sonar.
Wow.
Battleship on crack. Yeah.
Yeah, super battleship.
Yeah, super battleship.
This is real time team versus team or submarine versus submarine warfare, where you are.
It's the most stressful game ever.
This is one of those games. I'm like, you really want to play at 8 players.
Yes.
Because in the full game, you can have 4 people on a crew, on a submarine, and each person has a specific role. You have the captain who drives the submarine. They're telling the submarine where to go. You go north, then east, then north, and west, which would make you crash. You can't do that, but you have to move around kind of in a continuous line of some sort. You can't ever cross where you've been before until you do certain things. So you're calling out where you're moving, and you're the one who stops and fires and stuff. You call the shots.
Yep.
Then you have like a person, like a radio or sonar listener person who's like listening in on the opponent's captain calling north and stuff, and they're drawing on this transparent grid the directions, and they can move this over the map to try to figure out, like, based off that, you're like, well, if I did that, I'd run into an island, so they can't be there. And you're trying to figure out where these people are based on the path they've gone, because they have to go legally. So they're trying to figure that out. Then you have a person who is readying torpedoes and things.
That's my job. That's the only job I ever want to play.
Yeah, so you're ticking off marks every time a direction gets called to try to ready different elements.
You're just like damage control.
Yeah. And then there's a person who's kind of doing the repairs. They're the ones who are reporting on the breaking down, because every time you're doing stuff, your ship starts breaking down and stuff. You have to kind of cross off things which might make it so your torpedoes are down, you can't fire and stuff. And then you might have to do repairs, and you might have to surface to do a repair to fix up your ship, but that will reveal the area that you're in. So that means the other ship might come for you. And it's just fun because everything's all happening simultaneously. So both captains are calling out stuff. You're trying to listen in. It's just, with the right group, it's one of the funnest things of all time.
Yes.
It still might be my top gaming single experience ever.
Really?
Yes, the first time I ever played it. We played with Complete Strangers, me and Nick, and I was like, I had never played, I was like, this is nuts. Like, what is happening? Like, where are we? It was so fun. It was so different, and I haven't quite had that experience since, but like, man, that will stick with me. That was so fun.
I like it.
Anyway,
it stresses me out, though. Steph, do you like this game?
It is stressful.
I mean, I've played it. It's not really my type of game, I guess.
That's fair. You have to get into
I don't know. It didn't resonate with me like it did with you. And I had a fun group, but it just like, is this over yet?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, maybe I got lucky.
Maybe you did. And it's totally fun. I like the one where you're damaging stuff, because I just get so stressed out in this game. Like, I've never been the captain. I never want to be the captain. I've been the first mate, the person trying to find stuff. That was okay.
The first mate, that's what it was. Yeah.
I don't mind being the engineer, whoever's damaging stuff, because it's a fun little puzzle. But it's like, this game stresses me out. I really like it, but I can do it. One, it's very much a convention game for me. I want to play it at conventions at 8 players, and I want to play it like once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I can't handle thinking about it. Is stressing me out.
But once in a great while.
It's great. It's great, but it is very stressful, but very fun.
Yeah. That's why it's 144 overall. That's number one from BoardGameGeek. But we have a number one.
Let's get into the first game we ever played together, fam.
Let's do it.
Our number one comes in at 1517, called Flatline.
I'm actually surprised it's as low as it is on the BGG rankings.
I don't know.
No. More people need to play Flatline.
Yeah, this is the first game we ever played together.
This was awesome.
The start of our friendship.
Yeah, tell us about it, Steph.
Why so I like that it could play basically like 1 to 5 players.
Yeah.
Fairly well. I play with 5 players most often because we're like, we have 5 players. Oh, let's play Flatline. Because it's high stress and everybody's doing something at the same time. And so what's great is everybody has their own dice. And there's different patients that need to be cured on the board. I don't really consider them patients. I just think, oh, colors match colors. Yay.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be rolling dice. And so everybody can work together to put dice together to complete each level of the patient to cure them. But so some patients require many people. Some places require just one person to complete it. You don't really get rerolls, so you're gonna have to use abilities for things like that. There's gonna be problematic events that happen each round, and so you're just trying to manage those and the patience, and you're just trying to cure everybody that you can. And so you can make the game harder by adding more patience each game, or easier by removing some to complete. Yeah. And so you're just working together to get those dice on the right spaces. Maybe you get some more health. Like there's little green cubes, and if you run out of those cubes, and everybody loses, so you want to try and get extras of those if you can. Yep. Anything you can do to make it easier. If you complete a patient, and there might be a little bonus, so you're like, okay, let's go for this patient so we can get this bonus. And so you kind of talk before, and then you start the button on the app, and then it's just like there's noises that are like stressing you out while everybody's rolling. And like
it's nuts. Yeah. And this is actually a sequel in sorts. There's a game also by Renegade Games called Fuse. Which is you're just trying to defuse a bomb, and then in Flatline it literally says, "Well, you didn't defuse the bomb; it went off, and now everyone's hurt, and you gotta try and save them." That's like literally the theme.
Yeah, you're like, well.
Now Fuse is just 10 minutes of everyone rolling dice and taking stuff, and it's nonstop. It's very fun, but it is 10 minutes of absolute stress,
maximum stress.
Whereas what I like about Flatline is it's still very, very stressful, but it's 1 minute of stress and rolling and everyone's screaming, and then everything stops, and you get to like look, and you get to like, okay, we did this one, and then you can talk for a while. Okay, we're gonna do this. Okay, we're gonna do this. And then you get the stress again. Where something like Fuse is just like 10 solid minutes of it, and then the game is over.
Flatline's cool because I think you have time to strategize. Like you can like come up with the ideas, but then you're still beholden to dice rolls. And in Flatline, like Steph said, you don't get many rerolls. So you roll the dice, and maybe everything you wanted to do is not going to happen. Yeah. So now how do you quickly try to salvage what you can and work on something? And there's some cool combos you can pull off. Like I said, if you cure one part, it might give you a bonus, which can go over here, which can trigger over here. Like there's some really cool just stuff to consider. And it scales super well.
Yes, it scales really well.
If a smaller game, there'll just be fewer patients and things, so it really works at all player counts, but at 5, it doesn't really get longer because that same minute is still a minute regardless.
That's great. Really and this is the start of us being best friends.
Yay!
If only we do then.
This was the start. It makes, and on top of that, it is both of our favorite real-time games, and it just happened to be the first game we ever played together. So,
well, hey, you set us up on a real-time.
What a great way to end a list! Yeah,
no, it's beautiful. That is our list, y'all. That's our 10 versus BoardGameGeek's number 10. What did you think of our list? Let us know in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did we miss something egregious? You're like, how did you forget this real-time
Spirit Island?
That's what I want. No,
I'm sure we did.
I'm sure we did. We always do, right? Let us know some of your favorites in the comments below. And as always, if you would like to see a game mechanic, a publisher, a designer, a theme, or something you want to see us try to make a list out of, put those in the comments below, and we'll see if we can make a list out of it and present it for you. Yeah. And see, as always, how do our tastes compare with the general people, the public? Yeah. And what you can do is you can rate your games to help change all those rankings and things might appear on lists. So make sure you participate in Board Game Geek. Yeah. Rank your games. Love them, hate them, whatever it might be.
Put games into categories.
Put games into categories.
If you see a real-time game that's not in the real-time category, mark it as that so that it goes into the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. And in the meantime,
I think that's it.
We'll get out of your hair.
It's the three amigos, man.
Bam, I've been Mike.
Yeah.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Steph.
Yeah.
And that's it. Bye, everybody.
Till next time. Bye.